Before you watch this video, make sure to watch the overview video for this same setup, because that's where we notated the rules and made the deductions that you're going to see me using here. This question asks which one of the following must be true of one of the program's segments. So we need to identify what must be true given the setup rules. Since we're not given any further context to work with, we're going to have to evaluate each of the choices in turn against what we know to be true. A is that Fallon is the sole politician interviewed. Does this have to be true? Well, if it's true in both scenarios, then it must be true. You can also think of it as if I can't make this false no matter what I do, then it has to be true. So let's take a look. In scenario one, we said that Fallon couldn't be first. So Fallon can only be second and fourth, which are both solo spots in scenario one. So far, so good. In scenario two, we know that Fallon can't be first and has to be second or third, and both segment 2 and segment 3 feature only one politician. So again, Fallon has to be alone. So this choice must be true. Fallon will always be alone in an interview segment. On test day, you can either move on at this point or glance over the rest of the choices in order to confirm your answer. It largely depends on you and how your timing is going and your confidence. So let's take a look at the rest of the choices. B says that Greer is the sole politician interviewed. Well, this could be false. In scenario 2, Greer could be paired with Lewis in segment 1. That would put Hernandez in 2 and Fallon in 3. We've now made this choice false without breaking any rules, so that means that B doesn't have to be true. C. Greer and exactly one of the other politicians are interviewed. No, this could be false as well, because in scenario 1, Greer could be alone in segment 4. That would leave Lewis in segment 1, which is just fine. D. Hernandez and exactly one of the other politicians are interviewed. Now, this could be true in scenario 1, but it doesn't have to be true. It could be false in scenario 2. Hernandez could be interviewed in segment 2, which would put Fallon in segment 3 and leave Greer and Lewis in segment 1. Since this is acceptable, then it doesn't have to be true that Hernandez is paired with someone else. E states that Lewis and exactly one of the other politicians are interviewed. And this could also be false, because in scenario 1, Lewis could be alone in segment 4. So A is our answer because it must be true, while all the other choices we looked at could be false.